guys, it's your boy Dunk with another video. Well, just takes place like yesterday. No, yeah, takes place yesterday. Okay, so I'm in class, right? And I get hungry, so I asked to be because like it's like the first period, and my first period is science. So I decide I get hungry, and like I have like 5 minutes to make me something to eat before class starts. So I do. When class starts, I'm still eating, and so I continue to eat. And then my teacher asked me to please put away the food because I'm a distraction. I'm like, yes, ma'am. So I do. And then, like 3 minutes later, I get called on, like saying, Jamarcus, can you speak? Well, my name, and then be like, Jamarcus, let's just name myself Jamarcus, alright? And they're like, well, Jamarcus, can you please like move your hoodie? Because I had my hood on. And so I do. And then the teacher says, Jamarcus, please excuse yourself from the class for being distracted. I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, are you talking back? I'm like, no, ma'am. And at that point, I'm triggered. Like, I mean, I am triggered.
What do you want?
YouTube. And I'm triggered, just about to go off. Just about to start yelling.
Are you sure?
And then, I'm not on the normal YouTube. On my normal YouTube channel. And so I decide to just listen, but then I get the urge just start like saying, I don't see you anywhere in my classroom. So what? Like, we're like at my house. So what do you want? She's like, please excuse yourself. I'm like, why? She's like, for wearing your hoodie. I'm like, I'm not even wearing my hoodie. And to start off, you can stop calling me out. And I was just about to start dropping names, but I chose not to. And she's like, well, just do it. I'm like, miss, other people are wearing their hood too, but you're not saying nothing about that. And she goes on to say, well, that doesn't mean anything. I'm like, then you can't tell me to take off my hoodie if they don't take off their hoodie. And so she's like, Jamarcus, just remove yourself from the class. I'm like, but miss, you're stopping me from learning. You know what I mean? And she's like, well, you're gonna have to fail this test then. I'm like, that's dumb, because you can't make me fail the test because of something that somebody else is doing, but you're deciding to just call out me. And that makes me mad. And so, therefore, she starts getting all furious. She's like, please put your parents on like Zoom. I'm like, ma'am, I'm sorry, because my dad is working and my mom was also at work. And so she's like, then who's there with you? I'm like, no one right now. She's like, so your parents left you home alone? I'm like, yes, ma'am. She's like, do you know how irresponsible that is? I'm like, alright, to start off, you're not gonna talk about my parents like that. And second of all, I'm old enough to be here and they trust me. And she's like, well, they shouldn't because of the disrespect you give. I'm like, miss, let's give her name's gonna be Susan. And Susan's like, well, you're just a bad kid. I'm like, how are you gonna judge somebody when you've only known me for like what, a week, maybe 2, maybe 3 weeks now? You can't be just judging people like by the book by its cover, like that saying. Don't judge a book by its cover. She weird.
Okay.
Good night.
Alright.
And so, yeah. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna post part 2 just on a different game because Fortnite's kind of stressing me out. So yeah, I'll be back with another video.
Alright, see
like a minute or two. Alright. I'll be back in 5 minutes, y'all. Like, I'll shut up in